Fala pessoal, começando aqui a transmissão, só para explicar para vocês, estou tentando ainda soltar ela para a gente poder acompanhar. Esse jogo da ETSU, do Gabriel, a Eastern Tennessee State University, contra Louisville, é um jogo na casa de Louisville, e para quem já acompanha mais o college, sabe que as transmissões das faculdades da ACC são transmitidas pela própria ACC Network, diferente da ESPN Plus. Então, dentro da ESPN Plus tem todos os jogos da ACC, só que você ainda tem que fazer um outro cadastro. A gente tem esse cadastro, só que todos os jogos da ACC, não sei se por algum erro interno deles, tá fora do ar. Então, eu deixei só esse início de jogo de New Hampshire, que tem um brasileiro, Bruno Piva, contra Yale, que é uma faculdade grande também, enquanto eu tento fazer rodar o jogo da ETSU contra Louisville. O jogo acabou de começar, tem 1 minuto lá provavelmente também. Então vou deixar rodando aqui enquanto eu tento pegar outra transmissão, e aí assim que tiver liberado, acredito que seja um próprio erro da própria ACC, porque nenhum jogo deles está passando. O jogo de Virginia Tech, Wake Forest está jogando agora, nenhum desses links tá funcionando. Então, assim que eles começarem, eu solto aqui para vocês, beleza? Então, só segura um pouquinho aí que a gente já consegue soltar aqui.
In real time, Sekuli has caught the worst of it. Temperature listed in the 50s, but certainly feels a bit colder with the wind. And early insertion for Hofstra, Lorenzo Cellini will replace Wright while he is evaluated. I would expect he'll have the opportunity to come back in if he checks out okay and feels up to it. Well read by Carles, 10 in blue to stay with Beauvoir there, but it's back by Kappelsberger. This is Gushy, number 12. You saw his steal and his assist to set up the opening goal against Clemson over the weekend.
And you're already seeing, Jonathan, just how committed Hofstra is going to be all game long to playing in those blocks, those deep, low block, making it really tough for Virginia to break down, and then try to counter really only through Carmichael and Goldthorpe. You're seeing 9 blue shirts every time Virginia's on the ball, just dropping deep and not allowing play in between lines.
Virginia certainly has faced low blocks before this year. Some of their more frustrating games, Xavier, Denver come to mind, where they've dominated the shot count, wound up on the losing end of the score. It's early. It's 10 minutes in. You're not surprised to see that kind of block. But, I mean, what's it like to try and play through a group, Patty, that has as its primary goal frustrating you?
Well, it's just that. It's extremely frustrating. I mean, this is in the non-conference, it's already a little bit trickier to get up for those games, especially coming off a huge win. And then you step on the field and you see the low block and know that it's going to be a long night trying to break it down. And you mentioned Virginia's had some trouble with the low block, especially in those losses against Xavier, Denver, and really I would throw Notre Dame in there in that they've shown they're susceptible to being hit on the counter. So really important for George Galnavach's men that they're very patient, that they don't get played out of position, and that when they're on the ball, they're very clean and they try to play in between those lines through combinations.
Shane Salmon on the receiving end of a Philip Horton challenge. No shortage of physicality in the early going here.
But it's something that Richard Nuttall mentioned, and when we talked to him, that man's team, George Galnavach, was a very athletic, very physical team, and that the Pride were looking very much forward to playing a team that was so athletic, so big and strong. Certainly, Phil Horton, one of the biggest athletes on this Cavalier squad.
There's Salmon, first start of the season. But the last 3 years, he's had 8 or 9 starts every year, and he has come off the bench at the back. And again, they've been playing 4 at the back, so they add a center back, and Salmon is the guy. Here's George Galnavach. Tremendous resume. I don't need to remind most of you watching ACC men's soccer on a Tuesday night. Very frustrated to miss the NCAAs the last 2 years. Hopes they're on their way back as Hollander sends this one up into the nets. And at 13 in the RPI and 4-1-1 in the ACC, they certainly appear headed back to the NCAA tournament. Now the goal is to line up some home games, both in the ACC, if you can get a top 4 seed, and in the NCAAs. As you see Wright returning from that head injury, that's why he's allowed to re-enter in the first half. We're not going to dwell on it, Patty, but to see Virginia not in the NCAA tournament the last 2 years, as an alum, what was that like, seeing the NCAA tournament without the Cavaliers?
Well, it's certainly new to most alums. You know, it's a streak that well over 30 years for Virginia, you know, consecutive NCAA tournaments. And so to be out of it for 2 years in a row, it's sort of amazing. You look at the starting 11 here tonight, and only Andreas Uhlin has experience in the NCAA tournament. So certainly in a program that has as much tradition as any in the nation, just having that pride to get back to the tournament and making that known. Certainly you can see it in this group, and you got to think that they're well on their way to a deep run here in November, December.
Again, Virginia currently 13 in the RPI. And speaking of pride, Hofstra currently at 44. I think an at-large bid may be a tough ask for them this year, obviously, depending on how their final few conference games go. But the CAA tournament, where they made a habit of losing to James Madison on penalty kicks until winning last year, CAA tournament may be their best bet for an NCAA bid. And by the way, James Madison is over in the Sun Belt, so can't lose to them on penalties this year. Beauvoir trying to interchange with Mangarov, recovered by Gushie. And good effort from Albin Gushie to retain possession for Virginia there. 20-year-old freshman from Sweden. Here's Beauvoir. They give him a wide berth. Looking for Sekulius to hold it up. And Pierce Infuso won that for Hofstra. Gives Goldthorpe an opportunity, 2 against 3 here. Goldthorpe trying to slip a pass through for Carmichael. Well read by the masked man, Andreas Uhlin.
And there you get a look at how Hofstra's going to be dangerous tonight. If they're going to be dangerous, it's well done from Uhlin to snuff that out in the end. But if you're Virginia playing against this low block, enjoying so much of the possession, you got to be careful not to lull yourself to sleep and allow Hofstra to break out in those counters.
Sekulius. His cross dealt with at the back by Marcelo Laje. Here is Goldthorpe again. Nobody within 20 yards of him wearing a blue shirt, and he gets into the tackle with Uhlin. It will be a Virginia throw. Mangarov coming deep for the ball. That's read by Stefan Mason for Hofstra. Little bit of possession for the Pride as we play here in the 17th minute. Just one shot in the game. It belongs to Virginia. Will Citrone playing out of the back with Aiden O'Connor hurt. Now, Aiden O'Connor did get cleared following shoulder surgery to return to training this week. You see Citrone, number 2, playing on the right side of the 3-man back line. Transfer from Cornell. And Uhlin shifted inside, but they do hope to get O'Connor back on the field in competitive games over the next couple of weeks. And they're also looking forward to getting Niels Orivol back on the left side of the defense, along with Miller, who's been playing there much of the year. So some names may be coming back for the Who's.
When O'Connor comes back to slide in at the middle of that trio at center back, it really allows this Virginia team to play in a little bit of a different dynamic, because Andreas Uhlin have the ball at his feet, able to drive into midfield, adding that number and really asking a lot of questions of opposing midfields as well as those back lines.
Sekulius gets it back from Horton. His shot blocked by Lodge. Second ball given away, a little scoop, and it ends up too far off the boot of Alander.
And it's better work from Michael Sekulius in and around the box, trying to combine in those little pockets. In the end, Alander tries with a little flick, maybe a little bit too much, but Michael Sekulius, now we've seen on a couple of occasions, able to play in combination with the forwards around him. When they're in that deep block, trying to find those pockets is so key if you're going to break them down and get in behind to create some chances through the run of play.
We told you Sekulius' first start of the season. He did start 10 times last year. Got plenty of minutes, so no stranger to this field, certainly. Another one from the New England Revolution Academy. Played some for their second team in the USL level with professionals before arriving at UVA. It's become almost commonplace now. Was it a handball or wasn't it? Sergio Gonzalez said it was. Free kick to Hofstra. There's Vessel Spale, 6'7" Dutch goalkeeper for Hofstra. Told you about the Long Island Rough Riders. He was the goalkeeper that took him to the national title game over the summer. 6'7" keeper always kind of jumps off the page at you. It doesn't guarantee that they've got all the other skills to dominate in net, but not going to be a worry about his height.
It sure makes the goal look a lot smaller.
When Beauvoir gets the ball on this near side, Patty, and they're giving him a lot of room to back off, do you want him running at people?
He's got to run at him. He's got to start to take that first touch forward to try to draw a defender out, and then you can combine or get to that end line.
Making a diagonal run here, and a dangerous one, and it's cleared out of the 6. Spale got a foot to it as Beauvoir tried to play it across the box.
It's a really good run here from Beauvoir, but it's a tremendous ball. As you see, just running across that midfield, just this slip just in there to break down that Hofstra back line. Just an absolutely tremendous ball from Mangarov. And then in the end, almost slips that one by Spiel, but better from the freshman, getting end line, putting service into the box.
Could hear the stadium support for the throw-in, but Virginia unable to do much with it. On the ball again here. Horton battled injuries throughout his career, but steady in the lineup this season. Visa's delivery headed clear by Pierce Infuso, number 20, for the game's first corner kick. Paul Visa will take it, sophomore from Hansa Rostock in Germany. 6 assists last year to lead the team, 2 this season. Good ball from Mangarov, but handled by Hofstra. Elon hurt them from set pieces. Can Virginia do likewise? Wide of the mark, and it did come off Virginia last. Out for a goal kick.
And this is a good scout from Virginia, because I'm sure they've seen this on the set piece. We'll see the second one here. A tremendous ball in from Sekulius, and I think maybe a touch in the end off of Pierce Infuso, but in the end, goal kick from Sergio Garcia.
Only 3 shots in the game, all taken by Virginia. None really from close range. The best chance was Beauvois' cross that he had aimed for Sekulius at the back post. This is Moritz Kappelsberger, 13 in white at that left center back spot. Transfer from Wisconsin after beginning his collegiate career at Duquesne. Duquesne in the top 25, by the way. Real back and forth game with Pittsburgh last night before the Panthers pulled away for a 5-2 win. Nice local rivalry game with a 5-2 score line. I'll sign up for that. Allander, a little casual there. Carlos got it the other way for Hofstra, and it was Kappelsberger able to recognize the angle Goldthorpe was trying to hit.
Now you're seeing both Allander and Gashi spreading wide in the build-up, trying to get just a little bit more width to see if they can stretch out Hofstra in midfield to start to find those pockets of space in behind.
Now our Sunday best next weekend, going to be a field hockey doubleheader to watch. Number 20 Rutgers taking on number 11 Syracuse. That's at noon Eastern. And then number 1 North Carolina hosting number 9 St. Joseph's. Both right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. Our Sunday best, getting things going noon and 2 Sunday afternoon. Right here, 25 minutes in, no score between Hofstra and the 24th ranked Virginia Cavaliers. The home non-conference schedule has not always been kind to them this year. Trying to reverse that trend. Jonathan Yardley, Patty Foss with you. Mangarov, dangerous ball. Horton was looking for it, and that's not going to count because Horton collided with Shane Salmon going for it, despite the impressive rip from outside the box by Gushy.
Oh, certainly a tremendous strike from Gushy in the end that won't count. You see here, certainly a foul there on Phil Horton, but that is a tremendous half volley from Alvin Gushy that won't count.
And you know he's watching it go off his foot thinking, that's as well as I've struck a ball all season, and it's not going to count.
Might have words for Phil Horton in the locker room for disallowing that one.
There wasn't quite as much there as I initially thought. So things stay scoreless. Horton got to that one first. He suffered the foul. Marcelo Lage late. And he's going to pick up the game's first yellow card to a field player, or to a player. Here in the 27th minute, Lage, the grad student from the Brooks School in Massachusetts.
Not sure where the argument here is from Marcelo Lage. Phil Horton gets there first, and absolutely a yellow card there for the grad student.
You don't need to be a grad student. You don't need to have your bachelor's to know that that was a yellow card. You can hear the cries of turn. Mangarov does get facing goal. Overcooked that one, though, intended for Beauvoir, and it'll be a goal kick. It's Daniel Mangarov, 2 goals, 2 assists this year after coming over from UNC Greensboro. And this is a guy, as a youth, I mean, he was playing with the best of the best in his age class. Reina, Busio, Bello, Scali, Atencio, Ocampo Chavez.
And you just have to be concerned a little bit about Louisville's sharpness. There's been a couple of moments where they just, it's not all concentration.
Pronto, pessoal, conseguimos pegar ali final do primeiro tempo e o segundo tempo vai rodar, mas realmente a ACC inteira tentei entrar em jogo de Virginia Tech, Wake Forest, eles estavam com algum bloqueio, mas agora deu, fiquei tentando 1 milhão de vezes aqui, até por isso que o outro jogo estava travando, mas enfim, chegamos com boas notícias, pelo menos por enquanto, 1-0 ETSU, vou daqui a pouco pegar de quem foi o gol, mas por ser transmissão da ACC Network e a Louisville ter uma transmissão muito boa, eles devem mostrar os melhores momentos. Ó, o Gabriel tá ali, número 7, então ainda tá em campo, e já a gente vem, mas agora o jogo seguindo normalmente. Perdão pela dificuldade técnica, mas enfim, foi algo além da gente, era realmente algo da ACC. Mas é isso, já a gente vem comentar um pouco mais do jogo, faltando aí 15 minutos, então já foram 30 minutos jogados, 1-0 ETSU.
Locker room dynamic well enough to say, you know, a player could do it, but it's plays like that that have to be sharper.
Lucas Leitner had a turnover and an opportunity, and it's out for a Louisville goal kick.
Sorry to step on you there, Matt, but that, I mean, that's exactly it. You can't whiff in those situations. And I'm not trying to pick on Josh Jones. He just happened to be the player in that moment. But Louisville has to just, I don't know if it's just get to halftime at this point. There's still so much time left, but they need some of their more fiery characters to get them going.
Well, here's an opportunity. Flick forward from Diaz and negated by the offside flag. Chris Sherfranz on the far sideline. Flag was up before Dankwa even chipped it forward.
That was better from Louisville, though, Matt. Much better, and a lot of key figures involved in that quick buildup.
Nico Diaz fresh onto the pitch for these final 15 minutes, along with Brandon McManus, who we talked about on Friday night as somebody that likely would have loved to have had at least one of his few opportunities back. Missed a couple that you just don't see him miss much. Had an absolute screamer of a goal against Evansville last Tuesday night from easily 25 yards out. Now back in a more natural position for him at a true target 9, whereas against Syracuse he was playing out on the wing.
And speaking of guys who are fiery, his play does a lot of the talking. He's a fiery kid, and he's the type of guy who can help Louisville in these situations.
Olha aí, coloquei na tela. 1-0 foi gol justamente dele, justamente do Gabriel. Mandar até um abraço pro Wagner, que é pai dele, enfim. Pedir perdão, perdemos, mas vai passar aí provavelmente no intervalo, nos melhores momentos. Então, só para atualizar. Gol, demos sorte aqui na tentativa de transmitir. Gol do Gabriel, gol gigante contra Louisville, que hoje é atual número 11 do país. A gente já falou várias vezes da importância. Então, só para trazer informação, eles devem mostrar daqui a pouco O gol,
COVID year of eligibility
gol do
next
Gabriel
season.
com 22 minutos de jogo. Então foi 7
That'll be his
minutos antes
third
da
year in
gente
a Cardinal
conseguir entrar.
uniform, and you can just see
Então
the
é isso, gol
progression
brasileiro,
that
gol
he's had
grande,
coming over from
gol bom
UK
para
last
todo
year.
mundo,
Not
bom demais para o Gabriel,
terribly
enfim, para a
involved in the
trajetória
offense.
dele. E aí
This
quando
year,
a gente
totally
vê o
different
gol
story.
mesmo, a gente comenta um pouco melhor.
John Michael Hayden thrilled that he's chosen to come back for a third and final season.
Yeah, it's huge for Louisville because he's a guy who's, as you said, Matt, he's grown in confidence seemingly every match. And, you know, when you have a great player like Abu Kamara, you need another guy to push him. And it's got to the point now where they're almost sharing minutes because McManus has been so good.
One of the big surprises of the preseason build-up to this 2022 campaign. Jason Gunn keeps it alive for ETSU, but the whistle from Daniel Pop gives it back to Louisville. Final 11 minutes and change here in the first half. Louisville trailing 1-0 after conceding an early goal in back-to-back matches. Still hunting for that elusive first half goal. It's been 4 straight matches without a goal in the opening 45 minutes for this Cards team. Diaz switching fields, looking for Barker John.
Mas é isso, só pedir perdão de novo. Tava até conversando com o Gabriel hoje à tarde no WhatsApp. Ele falou quando chegaram no estádio para reconhecimento do gramado, explicou que eles têm jogo importante da conferência no final de semana, então talvez o coach ia rodar o time, mesmo sendo um jogo importante. Então, enfim, Gabriel vai ficar chateado quando ver, mas vai ter no intervalo com certeza. Volta o replay, a gente passa um monte de vezes o gol dele aí, mas só para reforçar, gol do Gabriel Ramos, brasileiro de Campinas, com 22 minutos de jogo, 1-0
games like this for
ETSU.
ETSU are an opportunity to experiment a little bit too and try to mix some guys in, get the minutes, spell some people. So great opportunity for Betancourt and for ETSU to rotate its squad as well. Louisville has started to try playing things over the top and run these diagonals. I'm not sure that that is the strategy that can get ETSU drawn out of their shape.
What is the strategy in your mind?
I still think that diligent passing from early on, having their striker, in this case McManus, running off shoulders, and just trying to play through your midfield. You've got such talented passers of the ball in the midfield, and trying these long balls that are skipping lines and are easy headers for the back 3 or back 5 to deal with, to me, is not the solution. But there's also a reason I'm not a coach, so maybe they see something I don't.
Second corner of the first half for ETSU. Reverend Murray will take it out. Floating ball into the middle and punted away by Josh Jones, but it stays in play. And now Troutman out of his perch. And he has to scamper back as Reverend Murray tracks it down. And another corner ensuing for the Bucks.
You got to be a lot crisper getting rid of the ball out of your area, but still you chased it away nevertheless.
This time Tyner to goal, back post. Saunder Road chasing it. Ramos is there as well. He's the one who scored the opening goal tonight for ETSU. And it's a Cardinal throw. Ramos. Gunter punts it into the 10th row of seats in the boiling point.
It's what I would call an ambitious effort.
Heavy right foot.
Sometimes guys take shots and you can immediately tell they're like, yeah, that's no chance. Gunter just started
something they did
back
on FIFA last weekend.
Yeah. Held down the shoot button for a little too long.
Gunter, a really good player, though, for ETSU. Second-year transfer out of Limestone University, a D2 school. As the freshman Damian Barker-John glides into the offensive third. And out for a Louisville corner.
And that's better from Louisville, and that's what they have along this front line. And Nico Diaz, Damian Barker-John, Georgalitis off on the bench right now. Makumba Ba, of course. They have pace. They have guys who can carry the ball and guys who can play quick working combinations through the lines. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of that, but that paid off there. They won a corner out of it.
Patrick Idukevich with the left foot here. In swinger, near post. Josh Jones was there. Now Diaz tracking it down. Plays it back in. And an excellent stop by Mark Kuadiu. Fearless coming to get that in traffic.
Yeah, a scary moment for ETSU because you saw the ball bounce off the turf after he went up for it, but nice recovery there to make sure he had it. And a real command in the air there to come across like that and claim it with traffic in front of me. He read it all the way.
Kuadiu from Montreal, Canada. The junior getting the nod tonight over Cole Hunter. Kuadiu only played in one match so far this year. Entering tonight, gave up 2 goals in that effort. Scoreless so far against Louisville, though. 4 minutes and change remaining in the first half. And it'll be an ETSU corner deep in this near side corner.
Corner kick ETSU.
Robin Lowe-Murrier back over to the corner to serve it in. Where will he go this time? We've seen a floater into the middle and one back post. Goes into the middle again. Dealt with by Parker Forbes. Ramos had a hit, deflected out, and another corner coming. And at this point, if you're Louisville here, you're just trying to hang on and not concede a second goal before halftime.
Well, Louisville's got to figure out a way to be a little bit more commanding in the clearances because they've managed to mostly just knock the ball down. Getting to it first is great, but you've got to be decisive in getting to it first or else you leave the door open. Much better.
Bradley Sample, one of the seniors honored tonight. Ultimately won back by Barker-John and a restart coming. 3 minutes left. Plenty of time for Louisville to set something up here against an ETSU team that largely tonight has been difficult to unlock with that 5 flat across the back. Quentin Elliott ahead for Brandon McManus. Somehow kept it in. Wanted something from Chris Sherfriends, won't get it. Flag stays down, and now ETSU will get it back at midfield.
I think McManus may have touched it, and that's why he suddenly had to scramble to see if he could try to keep it alive, maybe win a corner. So you can't fault him for the hustle there, but good idea for the run into some space, and that's been one of the rare times where there's been even a little pocket of space to play a ball into for Louisville. But at this point now, you're just trying to get to halftime, you regroup, and you got to find the right combinations.
Leitner got a head on it. Gunter is there. Chuyup. Gunter. ETSU has opened things up a little bit more offensively after getting that first goal. Confidence builder for this Bucks team.
Yeah, that was a free header there for Leitner in the middle. Well worked to get across away. But you're right, Matt. They've stepped out a little bit more. It's gone more to a back four the last little while here, and certainly feels like they're a lot more confident than they were earlier on.
It's always the case, isn't it? A mid-major team comes in on the road against the top 15. They either hang in or gain the lead early. Changes the whole dynamic.
Yep, absolutely. And I misspoke. They are still in that 5. It's just when they're in possession, they're moving bodies around.
Gunter's come up a lot in the offensive third from that right back position.
And he's been successful doing it, so it's no surprise that that is the way that they're utilizing him.
Here's Quentin Elliott up from right back for Louisville. Tried to slip it to Barker John. And it's back across midfield. And that will likely be the last real opportunity of the half for Louisville. Less than 20 seconds now. Ahead for McManus. Down for Dankwa, and it's off the outer edge of his right foot. Barker John to Saunder Road, chipping it across the mouth of goal. Down goes Diaz. Nothing from the referee. ETSU grabs the early lead and hangs on through the first 45 minutes in Louisville.
Yeah, really professional performance here on the road. An impressive one for ETSU. They look very confident defending. And Louisville in and out of ideas in this first half, getting forward. And it looks like they're going to have to regroup at halftime. John Michael Hayden will have plenty to talk about, but ETSU will go into the break feeling very confident with that first 45 minutes.
For the 5th consecutive match, Louisville held scoreless in the opening 45, and they trail in back-to-back matches. Brandon McManus and company will be searching for the equalizer and more after Ramos got ETSU off to a 1-0 lead.
After the first half of play, the score is the East Tennessee State Buccaneers 1, Louisville Cardinals 0.
É isso, fim de primeiro tempo. O Gabriel jogou até o final ali na ponta esquerda, né? Como eu postei até no Instagram. Ele tinha me falado que vai jogar mais avançado nessa partida, tá jogando como um ponta mesmo. Para quem acompanha o Gabriel, ele jogava muito volante, um meio-campo ali, criador de jogada por trás, só que ele está indo muito bem aberto pelas pontas, então ele está jogando mais pela ponta esquerda. Durante o intervalo, só vou tirar o áudio para não ter problema com as propagandas, só que eu tô aqui de olho quando vierem os melhores momentos, vou soltar o áudio para a gente ver como que foi o gol dele. Os narradores falaram várias vezes do gol do Ramos, que abriu o placar, a câmera filmou bastante ele, só que ainda não mostraram o gol, então deve mostrar agora durante o intervalo.
Be higher or lower? Higher. Let's see. Oh, that's almost Maddie Walters at number 5, but you did get one correct. Congratulations. Fans, let's give Charles a big hand. Thanks so much for playing. Higher or lower?
Soltei o áudio porque não estava tendo propaganda, mas legal ver aquilo que a gente fala de espetáculo. No intervalo, dá para ver ele pelo telão no fundo. Tá tendo uma brincadeira com as crianças de mostrar um jogador, o número da camisa dele, e ela tem que adivinhar se o próximo jogador que vai mostrar o número é maior ou menor. E aí tá valendo uma camisa da Louisville. É aquilo que a gente fala, realmente um espetáculo. Criança entra no campo, tem atividade, tem faculdade que tem show durante o intervalo. Então, é aquilo que a gente fala, né? O americano sabe trabalhar. Agora, algum desafio com os jogadores de Louisville que está gravado, né? Com isso da caixa, e vai ficar passando no intervalo. Então, é muito legal o jeito que eles trabalham o marketing, lembrando que isso é universitário, isso não é profissional, se eu tiver alguém totalmente perdido aqui. Então, tipo, brincadeira do Hulk lá, de botar a mão na caixa e descobrir o que é isso. São os atletas de Louisville que gravaram esse quadro e está passando lá no telão durante o intervalo.
I didn't get it.
Agora eles estão jogando peanut, amendoim, para a torcida, deve ser alguma coisa da religião. E do estádio não está completamente cheio. Primeiro, jogo terça-feira à noite lá, então a maioria dos estudantes podem ter aula. Jogos de meio de semana lá costumam ser menos cheios do que no final de semana. Soltar. Não mostraram ainda, mostraram só alguns lances aleatórios, mas voltando ao que eu estava falando, o jogo não está tão cheio por ser meio de semana, então tem essa certa diferença, e também a Louisville está em uma sequência muito forte de jogos da ETSU, que está lotando estádio, acho que até bateu o recorde recentemente, então pode ser que por ser um jogo fora de conferência, a torcida, estudantes não tenham ido em peso hoje. E também dá para ver pelo pessoal, tá relativamente frio já por lá, né? É um estado mais para o norte, então tem todas essas peculiaridades. Eu acho que ainda devo mostrar os melhores momentos, mas vamos ficar de olho, porque eles só mostraram alguns clipes aleatórios. Olha, no telão lá atrás está falando justamente isso. O próximo jogo da Louisville é contra Clemson. Clemson é a atual campeã nacional, então é jogo grande, valendo vaga dentro da ACC. As duas faculdades são da mesma conferência, então provavelmente final de semana vai ser jogo de casa cheia por lá.
Black t-shirt is also presented by Kroger Fresh Foods. Low prices.
It was a glancing header back post by Bradley Sample that went off the woodwork.
Acabou que não mostrou
that,
os melhores momentos.
ETSU
Isso é um pouco chato
sort of
dessas
had Louisville
transmissões
under
da
wraps.
ACC Network. Então não é transmissão da ESPN. Então cada universidade
Bucks
tem
in the
o
all
seu
yellow,
departamento.
Louisville in the
Então
home
é uma
whites, and away we
transmissão
go
mais
for the second
clubista, tanto que
45.
mostraram só lances da Louisville. É como se todo jogo do Flamengo, quem transmitisse fosse a Flamengo TV e eles só mostrassem os lances do Flamengo. É chato, mas enfim,
Richards.
Acabando o jogo eu pego com o Gabriel o gol, enfim, a gente vai ter a transmissão completa e aí eu consigo postar no nosso Instagram para dar uma moral. Mas é isso, voltando pro segundo tempo, pelo jeito o Louisville com o time titular, né, voltou o número 9, que é um atacante muito bom, tá bem cotado para draft, enfim, para o profissional, e acredito que o Gabriel é o que tá ali esse que dominou a bola agora, de costas. Ele tava com a camisa comprida, deve ter tirado, né? Acredito que seja ele. Então vamos continuar de olho e torcer pro segundo gol. Não quiseram mostrar o primeiro, mas é isso. Já volto pra gente conversar um pouco mais.
But it was a good build up there, and Richards really, especially the composure on the ball, was excellent there, and the ability to just keep making defenders miss. He's a guy who's going to be a thorn in Louisville's side here as long as he's on the field.
You never know what you're going to get in these midweek matchups. Looking across the conference, Princeton, Virginia Tech final.
Só para corrigir, acabei de olhar nas estatísticas do jogo. O Gabriel foi substituído, então provavelmente o treinador segurou ele um pouco nesse segundo tempo, ele jogou o primeiro tempo inteiro, mas lembrando que no sistema do college ele ainda pode entrar de novo, então não quer dizer que a partida acabou para ele.
Need I remind you, Syracuse top 5 in the country.
15 minutos depois que ele tiver descansado
mais. And it's getting cold out. It's, you know, this is the time of the season when the guys have been grinding quite a bit and they're getting ready for the postseason. But these midweek non-conference games late in the year, just consciously, you got to wonder about the Power 5 schools that take
it's hard to get up for.
Yeah, it's tough.
Well, John Michael Hayden will tell you straight away that's no excuse for his Louisville team that has aspirations of going much deeper this year in the NCAA tournament. Bounced disappointingly by a mid-major team in the first round last year in Bowling Green. Right here at Dr. Markin Stinneyland Stadium. Cards chasing that 9th win in their final non-con regular season match of the year. Philip Fred Hall now onto the pitch at right back in place of the starter Quentin Elliott. Nico Diaz asking for a run. Instead, it's stopped by Eric Dankwa at the feet of Makumba Ba, and he is closed off by Chua.
Good stuff there from Louisville to keep those crisp passes into space. Just got to keep trying different angles and different looks, different runners, and just see if you can start pulling ETSU's shape apart a little
Aí,
bit.
mensagem do Luca, atleta de
Maybe
Kentucky.
test the
Pra quem também não
inexperienced
entende
keeper
tanto
Mark
assim.
Kuadiu.
Lógico,
Only
o
one
Luca
match
jogou com o
played this year
Gabriel
until tonight
como nono, né?
in place
São
of the
já
starter
parceiros
Cole
já, dois
Hunter.
brasileiros. Mas a Kentucky, faculdade do Luca, hoje está ranqueada em número 2 do
We
país.
haven't seen a
E
ton from
Louisville é número
Louisville
11.
more
Então,
recently is where the
Louisville
press
perder, teoricamente, é
is
bom para
causing
quem está em
problems
cima,
for their
porque é
opponent.
menos chance
Flag is up on Abu
deles
Kamara.
passarem.
You know, he
Então,
is
mandar um
just
abraço aí pro Luca, eu acho que
hungry
ele
for a goal.
tem jogo amanhã,
Held
né?
scoreless against
Enfim, temos
Syracuse,
transmitir também outro jogo da
but of
Kentucky,
course
que
scoreless
já
in the first half tonight.
passou um tempo. Mas é isso, só para
Had a ball on his left foot
contextualizar
midway through
a
that first
mensagem que ele
half
mandou.
after Louisville had conceded, but just couldn't quite get enough behind it. All 6 of Louisville's goals scored in the last 4 matches have come in the second half. Can they find 2 more here tonight against ETSU and keep them off the board over these next 40 minutes? That is the task.
You can tell Louisville had what I would assume to be a fiery chatter. I don't know what the word would be, but you can tell that there was something lit at halftime. They're playing with a little bit more pizzazz here to start this second half. But so is ETSU, and we've seen how well they can defend here. So Louisville's got to get creative in the way they're working this thing through.
Now, this is an opportunity for ETSU to gain some momentum. They're coming off that 1-1 draw with the top team in their league, UNCG, a top 25 team in the country. What would it do for this club's confidence to come in on the road at number 11 Louisville and steal a W?
It's never a good sign, Matt, when the home fans are starting to be concerned with how much space they got taken to throw in is getting. That's when you know things are starting to get a little antsy for the
Não quiseram que a gente assistisse, mas a família do Gabriel tá aí, enfim, vamos dar essa moral pro brasileiro. Vou só pegar na tela,
Such a
no
frustrating
Twitter deles
match on
e
Friday
soltar
night
aqui na
against
tela.
Syracuse. Had it not been for that late goal by Josh Jones, This Cards team would have been shut out. They scored in the 88th minute against the Orange. And this is a group that scored a lot of goals last year. They haven't scored quite as many this season, but the competition's been also a lot tougher. 8 teams on their schedule this year who played in the NCAA tournament a season ago. That was a nifty middle of the back flip from Saunder Road. Didn't lead to anything but a throw for ETSU. Nonetheless, some good movement here in the opening 10 minutes for Louisville.
Yeah, they've been a little bit more concise in their movement, a little bit crisper. And as a result, you're seeing more guys come available, as we saw there with the cheeky little
Louisville fresh off a 2-1 defeat to the top team in the Atlantic Division in the Syracuse Orange. Richards playing it back across the mouth of goal, and it is ETSU gaining the lead on a Gabriel Ramos goal with 22 minutes left in the first half. And again, Louisville down early. Louisville fresh off a 2-1 defeat to the top team in the Atlantic Division in the Syracuse Orange. Richards playing it back across the mouth of goal, and it is ETSU gaining the lead on a Gabriel Ramos goal with 22 minutes left in the first half.
Mas gol clássico de ponta,
and again,
né?
Louisville
Fechar,
down
então,
early.
toda pela ponta direita, o
Fresh
Gabriel
off a 2-1 defeat to the top team in the Atlantic Division in the Syracuse Orange. Richards playing it back across the mouth of goal, and it is ETSU gaining the lead on a Gabriel Ramos goal with 22 minutes left in the first half.
Faz muito gol de fora da área, pega muito bem na bola. Então,
and again, Louisville down early.
Louisville
fresh off a 2-1 defeat to the top team in the Atlantic Division in the Syracuse Orange. Richards playing it back across the mouth of goal.
Peraí.
And this is a good decision.
Tava com a transmissão.
Not only is there a lot at stake there, but
achei que tinha sido gol.
Nobody was really in position to be.
No VAR.
I'm not being critical here. I don't think anyone had arrived yet to be able to see if that was over the line. And I'll be honest with you, Matt, from that angle, it doesn't look like the ball crossed the line.
Até falei na transmissão passada.
You also wonder if Abu Kamara thought that was just
tinha até visto já muito comentário falando
a dead giveaway
que eles só
in
usam
the
o
back
VAR
of the
para
goal
questão
with no effort because he didn't really chase it down. It was Chuyap who came from way far away.
Só que pelo jeito eles também podem ver se a bola entrou. Não tem a tecnologia de linha do gol.
Because it does seem like
ele tá olhando agora na câmera se a bola entrou ou não. Mas pelo replay que eles mostraram aí,
like you said,
parece que
that
não
it was
entrou.
Going to cross the line, but regardless of the decision here, I do think Louisville can say, hey, you've got 35 minutes left, and we are starting to turn the screw a little bit here. You can really feel that they're getting more and more confident. They're getting sharper in their movement. And the referee has seen enough here. Let's see what he says.
And the goal has been disallowed. Not that it was allowed to begin with, but after video review, ruling on the field
no VAR que a bola não entrou, né? Então ele tem outros ângulos, mas deu para ver que por cima que praticamente
for the heads up
longe
play
da
to come hustling across.
Não entrou, continua 1-0.
Recognize the situation and just do what he needed to do to get it away.
Heck of an effort by the sophomore from Canada, Yves Chuyap. Here's another look at it. Number 15 on your screen. When this ball ricochets, he's at the top of the 18, sprints all the way back, and gets that left foot out in front just in time to keep it out of the back of goal.
And I will say, from that angle, rewatching that, I don't know if Kamara could have done any more. I have to say, I think the ball was a little bit farther out from him than I initially thought.
Bradley Sample down in a heap. Was looking for a call, won't get it. You said it, Louisville has come out with more pizzazz. Certainly they have been sharper and much more active up top in these opening 10 minutes of the second half.
And ETSU has too. I mean, this is a little bit more of a high energy start to the second half.
Makumba Ba, he's got a runner down the right flank. Taken out momentarily. Dankwa keeps it alive. Kawadiu is there to glove.
Still like what I saw, though, from Louisville down that flank. And I think really where Louisville is going to get a breakthrough, if that happens in this game, is going to be from one of their game changers taking on defenders and forcing ETSU to have to shift its bodies around in that shape to defend and pull people away from where they need to be.
Diaz chesting it down for Fred Hall. Now Ba gliding across the midfield. Playing more on this right side than his typical spot on the far right, left flank rather. On the left flank, it's Patrick Andukevich has come up from that fullback position. And Saunder Road, who's still searching for that elusive 7th assist. Top 3 in the league in helpers this year. Fred Hall. Whistle for the foul. Restart from Richards. Trying to prove a point. Daniel Pop lets him play on. Diaz, cut down. It was well played by Christian Nchimu.
Man, Dankwa just standing there completely unmarked. Referee's got to see if he can get control of this game here. Last couple of sequences have started to feel like things are getting a little out of control here.
Daniel
now here
Pop
he goes.
having a word with the Louisville captain, Bradley Sample. Home fans starting to give Daniel Pop a bit of an earful here. Wasn't much of a physical first half. That has changed quickly here to start the second.
Yeah, both teams harder in the challenges, more dogged in their pursuit. And as a result, we've had a couple of 50-50 plays that have resulted in heavy crunching challenges.
Well done by Fred Hall to keep that in play. Now Saunder Road turning, looking for runners. Makumba Ba. Out to Idukevich. Idukevich. Left down for Fred Hall. Has a go and over the top bar.
I like that from Fred Hall and well worked there from Louisville across the middle. That's what you've got to do. You've got to keep trying to just shift the angle just a little bit here. As you see ETSU, Fred Hall collecting the ball, gets a touch, and ETSU's body's just having to sort of shift around and see who can address him. But good stuff from Louisville to keep pushing. They've got the guys on this team who can make defenders miss. And I think they'll be encouraged by the way they've started the second half. They just haven't broken through yet officially.
Fresh legs onto the pitch for ETSU. Kovacevic, Ramos, who scored the only goal in the match so far in the opening 20 minutes, is on. Izzy Garcia Perez in for the first time tonight. Kovacevic playing it for Cameron. Quickly out from Ryan Troutman. So far this year, all of Louisville's losses have been to top 10 teams. Duke and Syracuse most recently, and those were separated by a month. And then, of course, UK in the battle for the Bluegrass as Fred Hall puts it across the middle. He was looking for Abu Kamara. Just a shade away, but that elicited an applause from John Michael Hayden. He likes the tempo from this team in the second half.
Yeah, tempo is a great word. They shifted the point of view, switching back from the left to the right, got themselves in a position where you can have the runner and Fred Hall, an excellent run, underlapping, trying to get in there for Georgalides, and a good ball from him to set that up. So more of that if you're Louisville, because you got to figure at some point it'll work out.
Evitar isso, então deixou uma equipe mais alternativa começar o segundo tempo, só que quer terminar a partida os últimos minutos com a equipe titular em campo, então ele usou
awaiting entry for the first time tonight. Abu Kamara, flag stays down, playing it across for Georgalides, and he has won a penalty for Louisville. An opportunity to gain one back on ETSU with 28 minutes left.
Bem esquisito,
couple things there that I really liked from Louisville. One, the run from Kamara and the ball into that space to know he's going to be there. And then two, how about Kamara sprinting over to claim the ball to take this penalty? But a good drag back pass and a good hustle there from Georgalides to try to get into it. And I think that's a fair call. Those are two dangerous,
bem safado, hein? O cara deu o carrinho, chutou a bola para frente, depois o atacante continuou correndo e bateu nele. Só que, de novo, como eu falei, o VAR não pode ser chamado para lances
second start of the season in goal for ETSU against the top returning goal scorer among Power 5 teams.
Mas se chamasse o VAR, acho difícil que ele manteria esse pênalti.
Searching for his fifth here and an equalizing goal for Louisville. One last word from Daniel Pop to Mark Kuadiu. You can feel the tension in the stadium. Silent. And the fans on the edge of their seats. Kamara to tie it for Louisville. Kamara! Abubakar Kamara has found the equalizer. 28 minutes left. His fifth goal of the season. And the Cards are right back in it in the Derby City.
Smooth as you like from the goal scorer himself. Kamara had an excellent season last year. He's been trying so hard to get back into that rhythm. And sometimes it's just a penalty or an opportunity like that helps you get back into the mix. Just a confident penalty. Didn't hit it particularly hard. Didn't slot it particularly well into a corner, but read the goalkeeper and just passed it in the back of the net. And now there's a whole lot of time left for a Louisville squad that seems to have had a whole lot of energy here in the first 15 minutes of the second half.
Kamara came off and said, "Coach, why are you taking me out?" And John Michael Hayden, I'm reading lips here, assured him he'll be back in before this night is said and done.
Yeah, I have a feeling Abu Kamara will be back out there, but trying to get these rotations right in these games, you got to stick to it a little bit. But Kamara has been really good in the second half, running into space and trying to get on the end of things. It was his pass that set up the penalty in the first place. Should almost get an assist to himself.
No kidding. No kidding. Found it for Georgalides, who won the penalty. Now Louisville have to be careful here to concede another. Turning around, and the flag comes up as Troutman made a diving stop.
Not exactly confidence-inspiring there defensively from Louisville, but Troutman very much alert. Obviously, the flag goes up, but still good on Troutman for staying engaged and getting down. I'm so impressed with him. He's just a really alert goalkeeper as we get a look at it. Yeah, it was the right call, but just an alert goalkeeper and very quick with his reactions, which is a nice asset to have for any goalkeeper.
So we are level at 1 after Louisville trailed 1-0 in the opening 20 minutes. Abu Kamara, his 5th goal of the season. And now the Cards chase the winner. Good stop on the back line. That was Ryan Suckling with the diving stop.
Yeah, that was good last-ditch defending there to keep things out.
But now Cameron Carroll will watch it trickle out of play. Tricolides was in the area. Around the league, we told you about the shocking defeat. Princeton beating Virginia Tech 5-0. Duke with a 1-goal lead over George Washington. Syracuse has just gained the lead on Bucknell. That was tied 1-1 early in the second half. Northeastern and BC tied with 20 minutes left in the second half, 2-2. And Wake Forest has just gone 2 goals up on Wofford with 25 minutes left in Winston-Salem. Meanwhile, Hofstra leading Virginia 1-0 with 24 minutes remaining.
Love that.
Hasn't quite been the season, I think, that the Cavaliers were hoping to put forth.
And how about Hofstra making Nassau County proud? Love that.
You never know what you're going to get. We keep saying it. You never know what you're going to get with these midweek games. Every ACC match is seemingly top 25. At least that's the way it feels. Certainly for the Cards this year. Number 7, Duke. Number 8, Pitt. Number 5, Syracuse. Top 25s in Wake Forest and Clemson still left on the schedule. Restart coming for the men in white. 25 minutes remain in the second half. Bakuzo, what can he stir up? He's been so good for this Louisville team off the bench. And that goal in the win against NC State during that stretch of 7 unbeaten. Josh Jones directing traffic from the back line. Punted forward by Revan Lomurier. Gunter was on the road giving chase. Kovacevic changing fields for Cameron Carroll. Sam Catherall fresh onto the match for the first time tonight, wearing 30 in yellow. Here's a run from Izzy Garcia Perez and scooped up by Troutman.
And that's, again, the alertness of the goalkeeper there for Troutman to be aware, because he was retreating there for a moment thinking possession was headed his way, but able to stay locked in and come back out. An important interjection there because there was a body for ETSU in the area.
Cameron Carroll wins a free kick opportunity for ETSU.
Yeah, good stuff there from Carroll, carrying and then inviting the contact there, trying to play around Fred Hall. And this is a chance, a little bit against the run of play now for ETSU to maybe put a scare into Troutman in Louisville.
Brevin Laurier serves in a floater. Chuyop playing it down. Now out wide for Izzy Perez Garcia. Bakuzo trying to get a foot on it. Touches it ahead for McManus. Now Georgalides running the break. It's on the road. And back out to Adukevich. A run from McManus. The flag stayed down and he touches it just left of the post.
Another good build-up there from Louisville. And actually, Matt, I think the flag ended up coming up, yeah. But a good little combination play there, and McManus picking up right where Kamara left off of trying to find some pockets of space. But Louisville very much looks like the team that's a safer bet for a second goal at this point.
Here's a clear run from Cameron Carroll down the left flank. Nobody found him. Now he's defended again. Georgalides plays it back to Philip Fred Hall. He's been much more active in this match. Did not get the start tonight. Came on to start the second half. Back to his usual self. Good touch from McManus to Georgalides. Back across for Saunders Road. Played away by Chuyop. Bakuzo. Touched away. Izzy Perez Garcia. Well defended. And the captain goes down.
He's got to be sharper on the ball there from Bakuzo. I don't know that his teammates alerted him to who was in his area, but still Louisville will feel like they have been pushing here much crisper, getting forward, much crisper on the runs and movement off the ball. And now the press playing a factor into this one too.
Just get the feeling Louisville's a pass away from finding that game winner potentially, as Dankwa and Abu Kamara continue to warm up on the sideline. It was Kamara who got that equalizing PK. Georgalides does not get the call. But now they reverse it after Daniel Pop got buzzed in the ear.
And a chance to get some bodies forward for the Cards here. And this is Saunders Road territory typically, although Georgalides is standing over it confidently.
Well, they're switching it. Well, no, they will still kick it. It's just about as close to out of bounds as you can get. Georgalides thought perhaps Pop was saying it was a throw-in.
Georgalides is the one who's going to take this after all, Matt.
The righty serves it in. Floating ball. Back post. Jones is there, and it's tipped over the top bar. Kouadiou with a game-saving touch to keep it out of the back of net.
What a save. And what a ball from Georgalides. A great header from Josh Jones and an elite save from Kouadiou. That is a reaction save. Excellent athleticism. His hands stayed up, so he was ready for it.
Now Adukevich. Glancing header from Bakuzo. Rolls out to Makumbaba. Plays it back in. Jones is there. And Kouadiou shows his mettle in goal again. And back to that last play that resulted in an incredible save. That's the ball you wanted from Georgalides. It was perfect for Josh Jones.
Yeah, perfectly dealt in and perfectly timed jump and run by Josh Jones, what a lot of us came to expect from seeing him play last year as a set-piece threat, Jones. And that level of execution required an equally as good save from Cuadio.
Well, now Abu Kamara will come back on for Brandon McManus. And Kieran Richard comes on for ETSU. So the top two goal scorers from each side back onto the pitch for what you would expect to be the rest of the match. Richards with 9 goals this year for ETSU. Hasn't had much to speak of tonight. Kovacevic to Ramos, who has already scored once tonight for ETSU. Playing it in for Carroll. He's not there. Jason Gunn tracks it down. And the header on from Perez Garcia tipped away, and Louisville recovers. Jason Gunn, the freshman from Asheville, kept it momentarily. And it's out for a Louisville throw. Damian Barker-John will come on for Makumba Ba.
Good job from Makumba Ba, good shifts. Guy who's just kind of floats around, it seems like, and takes a lot of space. He can take defenders on and out. Damian Barker-John, the dribbling jitterbug, is coming in here. See if he can unlock this defense.
Saunders Road. He'll want that cross back. Louisville looking to get back into the win column after a 2-1 defeat to a top 5 Syracuse team on Friday. ETSU looking to carry the momentum forward after a 1-1 draw with a top 25 UNCG over the weekend. Final non-conference regular season match for both sides. And then the final push for conference tournament seeding and bids to the NCAA tournament, which for ETSU, you would think would have to come from winning the SoCon tournament. Here's a run from Georgalides. Great ball in from Patrick Idukevich. And off the shoulder of Sam Catherall. Corner kick coming for Louisville here. 12 and a half minutes left.
Well, everything has been better in the second half from Louisville after a strugglesome first half, and they've done a really good job of looking into space and not just running into it, but also putting passes into that area that has created these opportunities. A big one coming up here again for the Cards.
It'll be Andukevich to take it. In swinger, back post, headed on and off the top bar by Josh Jones. Another glancing header off the woodwork for Louisville.
And at some point, somebody on ETSU, it's easier said than done, has got to get a body on Josh Jones. That's 2 free headers. That was an excellent ball in, perfectly timed run back post, beat his man, and just unlucky there. But that ball met the woodwork, but Josh Jones always a threat on set pieces and almost there. Second time now the woodwork has been hit by Louisville on a set piece opportunity.
Nobody can match up with the 6'5" frame of Josh Jones.
He's a basketball player, man. He's hard to mark. I thought Syracuse did a really good job with him of just kind of sandwiching him with people, pushing him off the spot that he wanted to be in, not allowing him to run onto the ball like he just did. But if he has any momentum and he's got time to time his jump, I mean, he's a tough guy to handle.
They also had more size on the back line at
Yes.
Syracuse.
Yes. Those are fellow ACC athletes.
I think Kovacic, who's been marking Josh Jones, is only 6 foot. Josh Jones has 5 inches on him. Karadiu punches it away. And another corner coming. As we tick down to 10 and a half minutes remaining in the match. And this time it'll be Saunders Rowe to take it. Josh Jones starting from the top of the 18. High arcing ball. Parker Forbes. And Karadiu is there to hug it. Then quickly out to Carlos Portas. And down he goes on a foul against Damian Barker-John.
Yeah, that's just one of those out in space. You know you're probably one of the last guys back. Why not just drag him down, take the card, let your teammates resettle. I've been really impressed with Karadiu today, Matt. He has been really, really good in the goal for ETSU and has just been really alert. He's got good command of his area and superior reflexes for a goalkeeper. All of those are good skills to have.
It only his second match of the season.
Absolutely could have fooled me.
And he's been real active in this second half. Game-saving touch over the crossbar on a header from Josh Jones.
Louisville's outshot ETSU in the second half 8-1.
Perez Garcia, Kovacic. Here comes Eric Dankwa. And he is on for David Bacuzzo. Can Louisville find the game winner? Searching for win number 9 this season. Kamara, who found the equalizer on a PK in the opening 15 minutes of this frame. Back to Sample. Fred Hall is open on the right flank. Dankwa moving into the area. Chipped in. Now Josh Jones coming into the fold. Back to Fred Hall. Forward for Jorgalides, and no one was home. Parker John looking for Georgalides. Jason Gunn there to play it back out. 8 minutes left here in Louisville.
That was an acrobatic attempt there from Georgalides. Flying ninja there, an attempt to try to keep it in bounds.
What's it going to take for Louisville to break through here in these last 7 minutes plus?
I mean, they certainly feel like they are knocking on the door, but I do think that they've been at their best when they're moving the ball crisply side to side, forcing ETSU to rotate defensively and put them in positions where they're trying to decide who needs to assert themselves in those 1v1 situations, because then you have to rotate again to make up for that space. Louisville has done that a couple of times. It's how they played Kamara in to win the penalty, and it's when they've looked the most dangerous. So just got to keep doing that. Take advantage of Georgalides and Damian Parker John running off the ball, and having one of the best goal scorers in the country as your 9 right now will certainly help too.
Abu Kamara hunting for the brace. Doesn't have much time to find it though. We are nearing the 85th minute. Although we've seen crazier things from this Louisville team in recent years. Think back to those 2 goals in 2 minutes against Evansville when trailing 1-0 last season. Parker John. Saunders Road. Sample playing it back momentarily. A tricky pass. Louisville lucky. That didn't result in a transitional moment for Richards. Georgalides. To Eric Dankwa. Parker Forbes. Out to Idakevich. Saunders Road. Makumba Ba. Rather Abu Kamara making runs. ETSU just hanging on by a thread here as Louisville continues their high press. Reverend Murray gives a little bit of breathing room for the Bucks. Parker John. Saunders Road, chipped ahead. Parker John still. Parker John just across the post.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about with Parker John, carrying into the area, running at people. Great ball through by Saunders Road. And really good stuff there. I mean, that is a really...
Louisville tá dando uma certa pressão nesse final de jogo. Só lembrando, já falei em várias transmissões, que aquela regra do empate...
Headed in, Kouadio is there, quickly rolls it out to Ramos.
Overtime, com gol
and a run from Betancourt.
Não tem mais, então se acabar
empatado, waiting patiently on the sideline to come into the match. 4:20 and ticking down.
Considerado empate.
Here's Josh Jones. He's had a couple of just near misses with the head on set pieces tonight. Fred Hall with the advantage. Whistle blown. And a free kick coming for Louisville.
Yeah, a little surprising that he stopped the play there, but I wonder if he read the situation for Fred Hall and saw that maybe he was hobbled a little bit. I don't know.
The way that Louisville served it in tonight on set pieces, you'd almost rather have this situation.
That's true.
Who will it be? Saunders Road or Patrick Idukevich? It'll be Saunders Road. Back post. And now Sample will track it down. ETSU just packing it in to try and come away with a 1-1 draw here tonight. But certainly you have to be wary of the counter. Makumbaba comes on. Damian Barker-John comes off. Meanwhile, Lucas Leitner, the man with 3 assists this season for ETSU, is on. Final 3 minutes here in the Derby City. Jones twisted away by Catherall.
Josh Jones is staying forward here for Louisville, at least momentarily.
Front Hall does well to win it back, playing it back to Troutman. '87th minute here at Mark and Cindy Lynn Stadium. Now a header to Georgalides. Georgalides! And another excellent play by Kuadiu.
That is an elite athleticism play there and a great IQ from the goalkeeper there, Kuadiu, to read the play, come out. That is a high-level claim there from the Canadian.
It's almost like Louisville's been on a power play for the last 15 minutes, just throwing bodies towards goal, looking for any opportunity to find the game winner. Into the 88th minute. Dankwa, but a handball whistled against Makumbaba. 90 seconds left. ETSU moments away from back-to-back draws against top 25 teams. Did so against UNCG over the weekend. Kuadiu punts it forward. And the flag was up on ETSU. 60 seconds left. Troutman out wide to Adukevich. Saunder Road. 45 seconds. Georgalides turned away by Jason Gunn. Goal corner kick coming for Konstantinos Georgalides in the final half minute of the match. Louisville have had chances on set pieces tonight. Georgalides in swinger. And Kuadiu is there, and that might wrap it up here from Dr. Mark and Cindy Lynn Stadium. And what an effort by that young man in goal for ETSU. In his second start of the season, holds Louisville to just 1 goal as ETSU comes away with a 1-1 draw, almost a 2-1 win in the final second of the match. And John Michael Hayden will be disappointed again that his team was unable to find a goal in the first half of the 5th consecutive game. But credit to Louisville, they got a goal back and avoided a defeat on a Tuesday night with Clemson and Wake Forest looming.
Well, and it had to come from a penalty, too. Louisville looked the most dangerous on set pieces. Just got to get a little sharper, but the good news is they still have games to go here and games to play. And an opportunity to gain some momentum in the conference. It's not all lost. I know they're frustrated tonight, but if you're Louisville, you've got to figure out a way to play a little bit sharper, play a little bit crisper, keep moving off the ball and doing the little things that added up to goals for them last year and earlier this season. And then on the flip side, Matt, ETSU will be thrilled with this performance. They put in a great performance on the road, gritty, and I would not want to have to play them in a postseason tournament if I were in their league.
E hoje ela não está nem
entre as 25, então
é muito equilibrado, não quer dizer que uma equipe, se ela não estiver entre as 25, ela seja ruim, longe disso.
And getting a congratulations from Ryan Troutman, deservedly so. Game saves,
atualmente número
game-saving
11.
saves.
O goleiro também elogiaram
Against
ele
Josh
bastante.
Jones,
Não sei
tipped
se
one over the top
pouparam o
bar,
titular,
put
mas o
one off the
titular era
post.
um alemão
Louisville had
que
chances,
jogou com o
but
Luca, com o
ultimately
Gabriel no
we ended a
nono,
1-1
que é
draw. And
muito
that
bom goleiro também, mas
concludes
esse
the
goleiro
regular season
entrou
non-conference
hoje,
schedule for both teams.
fechou ali
Louisville will
principalmente
have
na bola aérea.
Clemson
Não sei se foi de
here at
propósito,
7
se ele é
p.m.
melhor na
on
bola
Friday
aérea,
night.
enfim, não sei.
For our entire
Mas é
Cards
isso.
TV crew,
Valeu,
I'm
galera.
Matt
Boa noite.
Schumacher
Já tá
alongside
tarde,
Jeff Gritter
encerrar por
saying
aqui.
so long
Pedir perdão
from the
também
Derby
pela
City.
falha técnica do início da própria ICC. Não foi erro meu. Mas deu pra gente ver praticamente a partida inteira. Soltamos o gol do Gabriel Ramos. Quando acabar a partida, eu vou tentar conversar com ele. Se ele tiver o gol com a qualidade boa, eu solto lá no Instagram daqui no Brasil. Lembra de dar o like na transmissão, inscrever no canal, tudo isso. Valeu, galera. Boa noite pra todo mundo. Até mais.